How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some terrifying cursed objects that experts warn you should steer well clear of. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more awesome creepy content just like this.
James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider, also known as Little Bastard, is probably the world's most famous cursed car. 1 week after Dean purchased the car, he died suddenly in an accident. Shortly after, the body of the car fell from a trailer and maimed a mechanic. Later, a thief who tried to steal the car received a terrible arm injury during his thievery. The car later disappeared, so no further victims have been claimed. However, countless brave or foolish car collectors are still avidly searching for the cursed wheels. The Koh-i-Noor diamond is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world at a whopping 105.6 carats. Currently, it's part of the British royal family's crown jewels on display in the London Tower. However, most members of the royal family refuse to wear the gemstone, as they believe the diamond is cursed. The diamond was found in India in the 13th century and had a variety of owners over the years. Its final Indian owner, Ranjit Singh, willed it to the British East India Company during the British occupation of the country. Ever since he died in 1839, the gemstone has been the centre of many bitter disputes, particularly among the men of the British royal family. For this reason, the royals consider the diamond to be bad luck for the men of the family, and only women are permitted to wear it. Koh Hingham is a small uninhabited island in Thailand. Such a small bit of land would be unlikely to attract many visitors if it wasn't for the millions of cursed objects that can be found dotting the shores of the tiny island. The island is entirely covered with lovely smooth black pebbles. Unfortunately, each and every one of these stones is allegedly cursed. According to Thai mythology, the curse was placed by the god of Tarateo. According to the terms of the curse, any visitor to the island who takes a stone home with them will be cursed for the rest of their days. Many of Koh Hingham's visitors choose not to heed the warnings about the vicious curse and pock a pebble as a souvenir. Unfortunately, they typically live to regret their decision. Every year, dozens of tourists mail the stones that they took back to the National Park Office, in an attempt to rid themselves of the bad luck that the pebbles have brought them. The pebbles are only dangerous if they're taken from the island. In fact, Thai people often visit the island and build miniature chetties using the pebbles. They then kneel in front of the structure and pray to the gods for whatever it is they need most. So if you visit Koh Hingham, feel free to touch the stones, but be sure to leave them behind when you go. Weddings are supposed to be joyful occasions. Unfortunately for Anna Baker, her nuptials resulted in the creation of one of the most cursed objects in history. In the mid-1800s, Anna Baker, a rich young girl, fell in love with a lowly steelworker. Her family forbade her from marrying him, but the pair began planning a wedding in secret. Anna even bought a beautiful bridal dress for the occasion. Unfortunately, her family found out about her plans and stopped the two from marrying. Anna was distraught and spent the rest of her life alone, refusing to marry anyone after being denied the chance to wed the love of her life. After Anna died in 1914, the home where she spent her reclusive life became a museum, and her wedding dress was put on display. Staff and visitors to the museum believe it's cursed by Anna's restless and bitter spirit. They report that the dress moves locations or changes positions without explanation, much to the terror of the museum's staff. The Delphi purple sapphire, more accurately known as the cursed amethyst, was stolen out of the temple of Indra in India in 1857. Since then, anyone who's owned the gemstone has come to rue ever taking it into their possession. Colonel W. Ferris, the man who stole the gem and took it to England, soon found himself facing financial ruin and bodily suffering. His son inherited the gem and also faced financial problems. He gave the gem to a friend who then committed suicide. The stone next went to Edward Heron Allen, who faced a series of disasters before giving it to a singer friend. The friend's voice deteriorated after receiving it and her career was ruined. Heron Allen attempted to be rid of the stone by tossing it into a canal, but a dredger found it 3 months later and returned it to him. Desperate to get rid of the cursed gem, Heron Allen locked it inside 7 boxes in his bank vault and instructed that no one should open it until 3 years after his death. As instructed, his daughter opened the vault after his death and donated the stone to a museum, with a warning about the curse. The gemstone currently resides in the Natural History Museum in London. The museum's curator has stated that since receiving the stone, he's experienced terrifyingly bad weather and violent illness whenever he's attempted to attend a symposium of the Heron Allen Society. Dr. Seuss is known around the world for his whimsical and often educational children's books. Most people would never guess that one of Seuss's beloved books is also on the list of most cursed objects in the world. A copy of Seuss's The Foot book currently resides in a glass case in West Virginia's National Museum of the Paranormal. The book was given to the museum by a family whose daughter regularly read the book. According to the family, whenever the young girl would read it, they could hear the distinctive sound of children whispering. They also felt like they were being watched by unseen eyes. The family contacted a paranormal investigator who did some research on the book. He discovered that the book had come from a house where 4 people were murdered, and that a red stain on the book's cover was most likely the blood of one of these victims. Louisiana is no stranger to hauntings, and the Myrtles Plantation is among the more haunted places in the state. Among the dozens of creepy legends surrounding the historic building is the story of the plantation's cursed mirror. According to the story, Sarah Woodruff, the former owner of the plantation, and her 2 daughters were poisoned by one of their slaves. The slave was likely a voodoo practitioner, and it's said that she trapped the spirits of the 3 women inside the mirror. Today, the historic home is open to visitors who tour around the house and grounds. According to these visitors, it isn't unusual to see handprints or figures in historical clothing staring back at them from the mirror. Like Anna Baker's wedding dress, the Bassano vase is another of the world's cursed objects associated with a wedding. This silver vase was created in the 15th century as a wedding gift for a young Italian bride. On her wedding night, the unfortunate bride was found dead, clutching the vase to her chest. Despite the grim death, the vase was passed to various family members, all of whom died shortly after. Eventually, it was hidden away, only to resurface in 1988, with a note reading, "Beware, this vase brings death." The Bassano vase was sold a total of 4 times after being found, and each owner died within months of purchasing it. The final family to be struck by the curse tossed the vase from a window, where it struck a policeman. The family refused to take the vase back, stating that they preferred to be arrested for disorderly behaviour. The police took possession and attempted to give it to various museums, but all refused. According to the stories, the police eventually buried it in a cemetery in an undisclosed location to prevent it from striking again. Cursed objects are not uncommon in the practice of voodoo. Most people associate the religion with voodoo dolls and cursed talismans, but few have probably heard of the Laudry conjuring drum. The Laudry family of Detroit were well-known voodoo practitioners. They regularly used drums to summon a Lao spirit called Criminal. Criminal was a powerful spirit, and when a previous conjuring drum began summoning the entity on its own, the Laudry family wrapped it in chains and sunk it in the Detroit River. When they had a similar problem with this newer drum, they wrapped it in a white cloth and abandoned it at a local magic shop. Today it resides at the Travelling Museum of the Paranormal and Occult, where it's locked up to keep the spirit known as Criminal at bay. Before we get to that number 1 spot and take a look at what many consider one of the most cursed objects in the world, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop about all our latest videos. Often dubbed the goddess of death, this stone figurine was most likely once a fertility statue. Its features had worn away by the time it was uncovered in Lem, Cyprus in 1878, but that hasn't stopped it from becoming one of the most cursed objects in history. Lord Elephant was the statue's first owner. He and 6 family members died in quick succession after receiving it. The same thing happened to each of the figure's owners, including the last, Sir Alan Beaverbrook. He, his wife and his daughters died shortly after taking possession of the woman from Lem. His remaining sons donated the statue to a museum, whose curator died shortly after touching it. Now the goddess of death is kept locked behind glass to prevent any other people from falling victim to its curse.
If you can't get enough of the old slapped ham, then don't worry, we've got you covered. Check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, there's a creepy playlist there you can binge on for hours. Leave us a comment down below, or if you really enjoyed this episode, hit that thumbs up button because it really helps us out. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.